En dan de tegenstander van Mike. We mogen wel zeggen met eerbied een veteraan op het circuit. Hij stond in 2015 al eens een keer in de finale van een van deze Eurotour toernooien. Versloeg Ronnie Huibrechts en Ian White onderweg naar deze zondag. Uit Schotland, de Highlander, John Henderson.
It's the Hendo dance. I love that dance.
Big John Henderson busting some moves up on stage in Maastricht. For the Dutch Darts Masters, looking to book his place in the quarterfinals against the real deal, Mike de Decker, the young Belgian, in a final day of a European Tour event for the first time in his career. Hendo's made the final of one of these before, of course. It could be another magical big Hendo weekendo as Rob Malarkey joins me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box for this one.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one as well. Henderson just becoming part of the furniture now on the European Tour, isn't he? Like a big wardrobe. Up against Mike de Decker, a man who breezed through qualifying. Christian Kallinger and Alex Steinbauer 6-0 on Thursday night, the pair of them. Richard North and Alan Norris, his victims in the main draw proper. Norris hit 7-1-80s in that 6-5 defeat yesterday, but de Decker came through despite an average of only 87.66. You suspect he won't get away with an average like that today because at times John Henderson has put in some very,
first leg is Mike to throw
good darts
first.
indeed.
Game on.
One of the highlights of day one, in fact, was his 138 checkout to win the match against Ronnie Huibrechts. Had a 120 checkout in the first leg of that one. And despite Ian White averaging over 100 yesterday, he was able to come through that, thanks in large to a very high average of his own, 104.3. I just think Henderson will have too much here for de Decker.
100.
I've been impressed by the young Belgian this weekend. But in equal measure, John Henderson, a quarter-finalist last time out in Leverkusen, could well be a quarter-finalist again.
95.
Well, it was a big win against a Belgian that got him through to the quarterfinals, wasn't it? It was Kim Huibrechts. Or was that that might have been the second round? But big win for John Henderson that got him into the match play, beating Kim Huibrechts in that run. And we saw Hendo celebrate. He's actually becoming something of an entertainer on the big stage with his dance and his celebration. Booking for your kid's birthday party.
What do you mean becoming? He's always been an entertainer.
Well, a little bit more animated, shall we say. He's always been entertaining.
Mikey Uruguay, 135.
135, looking at the ball first dart. Treble 20, looks a good guide for the bullseye as well, but he doesn't get a go at it.
45.
Well,
John Uruguay, 121.
Well, chance for a break here already. Henderson now looking at 17s, not to beat.
Well, that bounce out for Mike de Decker could well cost him here, because
Mikey Uruguay, 90.
he's probably going to look at the 20s. He might go bull. Oh dear.
Well, he went for the single 5.
Needed treble 19 for double 14 and doesn't get it. And that bounce out really did cost him, because he doesn't get a dart for the leg there when he should have got at least one. Hendo's getting a couple. Oh, he only needs the one, big Hendo.
Second leg is John to throw first. Game on.
As well as that quarter-final of the European Open in Leverkusen, he also made a fairly recent quarter-final on the Players' Championship circuit in Barnsley. That was Players' Championship 15.
43.
Should or could have easily made the semi-finals there as well. He lost to Justin Pipe 6-5. Had that World Match Play appearance too. It's been a fairly productive summer for John Henderson. £20,000 he's earned since the start. He's on £13,000 on the European Order of Merit, so I'm pretty sure we'll see him in the European Championship.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In Hasselt. By the way, did you know you can cycle from here to Hasselt?
Is Hendo doing that?
Well, I mean, you can cycle around the world if you want to, but there is a designated cycle path from here to Hasselt.
Literally, the road to Hasselt, figuratively, continues here on the Euro Tour, but there's an actual road to Hasselt.
Well, there is a road to Hasselt, but there is a cycle path to Hasselt. That's the more impressive.
Cycle path to Hasselt.
But we are virtually on the doorstep of Belgium here anyway.
123.
Convenient for the likes of De Decker.
128.
No need to start on the 18s for Henderson, with De Decker not on a finish. I think that's there. 65 off, leaves 63.
70.
Leaving 50.
Yeah, guess who went into Maastricht this morning? Doing a little recce.
On your bike?
25.
I did borrow
John, you
one.
require 50.
Well, some say borrow.
Stole.
Commandeered.
Tops for Hendo.
30.
He'll come back and have a look at double 10 to hold his throw, consolidate that early break. There's pressure.
121.
Not as much
John,
as
you
there might have
require
been.
20.
Just inside. Double 5. Will he return? Opting to
104.
bust his score. Yep, he's got it. Tops.
On the
that
second
means
leg.
a lot to
Mike
Mike
De
De
Decker.
Decker, doesn't it?
Third leg is to
Just
Mike to
finding his
throw
way into that
first.
triple 15 bed, and then
Game
the
on.
rest almost taking care of itself. It was a very accomplished finish from Mike De Decker.
And an important one, because he was nowhere near. And he's 200 points behind at one stage, Mike De Decker. John Henderson missing 3 darts for that leg and paying the price.
86.
Great response from Hendo with the first maximum of this one. And everybody in this little quarter of the draw will know that it is a huge opportunity. Mensur Suljovic, Gerwyn Price, Alan Norris, Ian White, all of those seeded players in this part of the draw knocked out already. So, granted, you know, you've still got Steve Beaton, a former Euro Tour winner, Germany's number 2, Martin Schindler. These two fantastically talented players. But they're not the seeded players. And if you're going to find yourself in a quarter-final on a Euro Tour, you'd rather be playing one of these guys than Michael van Gerwen. Or
125.
Mensur, really. I mean, Mensur's European Tour pedigree is phenomenal.
But such is the depth of talent we have at our resort. It is a rich seam of talent here this weekend. The PDC is a rich team of talent. A rich team of talent, even. A rich team of talent.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. No. I thought that was Dutch.
95.
Yeah, with the emergence of the European players as well. De Decker very much a part of that. But, yeah, I catch your drift.
Well, Hendo kicked off 180 in this leg and hasn't really done enough to worry De Decker since
75.
then. That gets him
Mike
down to
Gregoire,
something
70.
manageable. Might not get a go at it, though. Double 16 for De Decker.
38. John, you require 128.
Well, this would be comforting for Henderson if he would take this. Stealing one back straight away, having had the previous leg snatched away from him, but it won't be.
76. Mike require 32.
De Decker into the lead for the first time in this one.
John to throw first. Game on.
Belgian national champion Mike De Decker 3 years ago.
140.
When he was
17,
17,
20, 18? Young.
We've repeated this many
131.
times, of course. The fact that he only picked up a set of darts for the first time at age 17. Do you think that's true? I mean, I'm not saying he's a liar, but I'm just saying
97.
Hey, look,
literally for the first time in his life.
some people have our co-commentator this weekend, Mervyn King. Supposedly,
58.
he was hitting 9 darters age 13. Now,
Well, yeah, okay.
Harry Robinson, who we've seen in action this weekend, hit his
94.
first 180
that he remembers at age 7. He was told that he hit one at 3 years old. Madness!
140. John Uruguay 100
on a regulation board from the regulation distance.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you that. Not much about Harry Robinson is regulation.
I'm going to ask Paul Nicholson about
84.
Some people just have a natural talent. They can pick up a set of darts. Gary Anderson, supposedly the first 3 darts he's through was a 140.
I've heard that about Michael Smith as well.
100.
When he was
John Uruguay,
forced to have time off
86.
school because he broke his leg or something. And,
Oh, come on. Michael Smith never went to school, surely. Hendo, double 16.
What do you mean by
70.
Well, there's no evidence.
Mike Uruguay 72.
72 for Mike de Decker. Treble 16 will be the first dart. Another single 16 will leave tops.
32. John Uruguay 16.
So 2 keepers on track here at 2 apiece. 1 break apiece so far. Henderson to get back on terms needs double 4.
8.
And de Decker is in the money once again here
40.
potentially. He's looking at tops for a 3-1 lead. And a second break of throw.
Chasing round the board.
Yeah.
30.
Not to be. And John
John
Henderson,
Uruguay,
who his last visit, he was bending metal like Uri Geller, wiring things left, right and centre. Can he find the double? He
John
can.
fourth leg. John Henderson.
2-2.
Fifth leg is Mike to throw first. Game on.
Well, de Decker reached his first
60.
PDC Pro Tour quarter-final at the end of April. He's on the verge of a Euro Tour quarter-final here. Lost 6-4 to Robert Thornton that day
80.
at Players' Championship 9 after a run that included 6-0 wins over Brian Woods and Alan Taban, and the 6-4 defeat of Darryl Gurney as well.
100.
De Decker's also hit a perfect leg this year as well.
Yeah, on the development tour, wasn't it?
Against Nathan Rafferty. Has Henderson hit one this year as well?
That's a very
140.
good question. I don't recall Hendo hitting one. I assume there would have been street parties and national holiday. I don't recall him hitting one.
No, he hasn't. I've just consulted my
58.
list of 9 dart legs for 2017. He's not there. Oh, he was playing Adrian Lewis when Lewis hit one. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
140.
But it was Henderson who won the match.
Well, Hendo is giving himself a chance here to break the throw and go back into the lead.
140. John Uruguay 141.
Treble 20, treble 19, double 12. First part done. Second part done. Magnificent John Henderson.
John Henderson. Sixth leg is John to throw first. Game on.
The tide has turned here. Henderson 3-2 up with the break.
97.
1-4-1 checkout. He has come up with some terrific checkouts, not just this weekend, but over the course of the European Tour campaign.
Well, he started off
100.
on Friday with a 138 to win the match, didn't he?
The greatest 138 finale
You will ever see.
You will ever see.
It will ever
Dan
be
Dawson's
seen.
words, not mine.
87.
Treble 20, treble 18, double 12. John Henderson with a 138.
He is-
The Hendo, as it is known.
77.
Henderson, as I say, becoming a regular fixture on the European Tour. Failed to qualify for the final 4 events of last year and the first 2 of this year.
59.
But he's now qualified for 7 in a row, including this one.
Well, just qualifying for these is,
Hard work.
yeah, it really is.
84.
But some of the players who have to come through the qualifiers, and we've seen Adrian Lewis have to qualify for these. Taylor came through qualify when he won it, didn't he, in Austria?
140.
Barney sometimes gives them a go. That's in the European qualifiers. But yeah, this was a rough ride this time for Henderson, though. He beat Richie Burnett 6-5, Andy Jenkins 6-5. The Decker's hit a 180 there, though.
Great setup
John
shot.
Uruguay 118.
Henderson taken out, the 141. Can he follow it with a 118?
Game
Of course
shot,
he
the sixth
can.
leg, John
Magnificent.
Henderson.
Back-to-back
7 legs
10-plus
Mike to throw
checkouts for
first.
John
Game
Henderson.
on.
And he has got a stranglehold on this game now.
Just when Mike de Decker was looking
80.
just to put some pressure on with a big visit as he had there Henderson has just got back on the horse and just rattled in another very, very efficient, neat and tidy finish there. 1-1-8. Lots to admire about the way Hendo's going about his business once again this weekend.
Well, Hendo's always classed himself. He reckons that he classed himself as a big scorer. And he's a man, I think he holds a record at Lakeside for the most 180s hit in a first round game. He was a lot.
70.
Can't remember the exact number. But he says, I do class myself as a big scorer. But it's when you're taken out regularly, as he has been doing this weekend, those combination finishes, that is the sign of a man in form. And, I mean, if you average 104 in the second round, I mean, that's an indication in itself. It's not quite that high right now, but under pressure, 118, after Dedeker's just fired in a maximum to lead the finish, after the 1-4-1, this is very encouraging.
Yeah,
99.
He's come up with really good response. And not only that, his finishing this weekend has been pretty good as well. 6 from 11 against Hybrex, 6 from 12 against Ian White.
98.
Yeah, more than
So
50%. It's
today.
4 out of 13 here, but those 2 ton plus checkouts, fantastic.
And the bulk of those misses came in one particular leg anyway, so as Rod Harrington used to say, it's all about the visit.
January 140.
It is. Well, he's not going to make it 3 ton plus checkouts in a row.
100.
But he leaves his
January
favourite, double top.
108.
And Dedeker, this has to go. Needs the treble. Gets the treble. Oh, he's a
84.
long way off there. Shakes his
January
head.
40.
Can't understand it, Mike Dedeker. I have to understand that he's 5-2 down.
Game shot on the
That's
7th
what's
leg.
happened.
John Henderson. 8th leg is John to throw first.
And there again, Henderson not taking it
Come
out
on.
first time around, but getting the job done. And it's all of a sudden looking very, very comfortable indeed. He was 2-1 down in this match, but he's won the last 4.
83.
And he's closing in on a quarter-final appearance here in Maastricht, where he would face either Steve Beaton or Martin Schindler. I think if you'd offered him that on Friday morning, he would have snapped your hand off, and he probably could do as well.
97.
Big weekend for Mike Dedeker, even if he does go down here. Young Belgian, one of that cadre of young Belgian. You know, Dimitri Vandenberg, Kenny Nyans, another young Belgian player with some real talent.
85.
It's a whole load of them. And there'll be a lot of positives to take from Mike Dedeker from this weekend.
95.
However, John Henderson has been the man in charge of this one. And he may well be in charge come 10:30 tonight.
140.
The end of the final. Don't rule it out.
I, for one, would not rule it out. I think it's a distinct possibility. I really do. Especially if he carries on producing darts like this. He's down to a finish of 46. Can Dedeker get close?
81.
That may not be
January
close enough, because
46.
6 for double top should be the route. It is.
Game
And it's
shot.
there.
Man of the
And a
match,
14
John
dart leg
Henderson.
for John Henderson completes a 6-2 victory. And the Highlander is through to the quarter-finals here at the Dutch Darts Masters. He will take on either Germany's #2 Martin Schindler or the former champion of the world Steve Beaton. Those two on the way here in Maastricht to round off the afternoon session and complete our quarter-final lineup. Van Gerwen, Gurney, Michael Smith, Robert Owen, Peter Wright, Christoph Ratajski and John Henderson all victorious this afternoon. Only one of Beaton or Schindler can join them in the quarter-finals. We're about to find out who will face the man from Huntley for a spot in the semis at the Dutch Darts Masters. It could well be a big Hendo weekendo. Let's hear from the great man himself.
John, congratulations. We meet again. Again, a few more people in the crowd. You must be liking this.
Oh, it's been brilliant, honestly. It's absolutely fantastic. I feel as though I'm back home in the UK. The support I'm getting for every one of them is fantastic. As I said the last night, the support they're giving every player, it's fantastic, and long may it continue.
You're going to be back tonight, quarterfinals. You don't know your opponent yet. It's going to come out of the next game. Have you got anyone fancy, or doesn't matter?
No, really. Everybody in this field are more than capable of coming up here and winning this trophy, even with Michael being back. It's the standard of the darts just now is phenomenal. So whether it's Steve or Martin, I don't care. I'm going to come up here, play my game. If it's going to be, it's going to be. If no, then we'll go on to the next one.
Dames en heren, we gaan hem vandaag zien. Wat een geweldige vent. Geef nog één keer hartelijk applaus. John Henderson! En dat betekent, dames en heren, dat we hierna nog 1 wedstrijd te gaan hebben. En als die wedstrijd afgelopen is, dan verzoeken wij u om zo snel mogelijk de zaal daarna ook leeg te maken. Dan